So today the video will be a bit different from the first one. We're gonna have 4 people discussing different subtopics or prompts about feminism, and the point of this debate is just having like a small conversation about how broad feminism can be. Today we have Natalia, Bianca, we also have Priscilla, and we have Mateo. And they are all seniors and they are about to graduate, so this is gonna be a really cool school memory. Maybe the last. Okay, so we have a series of prompts or subtopics, and for each there will be a segment or period of 10 minutes. It can be less though, but it generally is for 10 minutes. And for each prompt, yes. And you guys are gonna be talking about each subtopic, I will say.
What role should men play in the feminist movement? Is it possible for men to be true feminists, or should they simply be allies?
Okay, do you want to start? Maybe on this one.
Okay.
I believe that men can be part of the feminism too, because, for example, feminism is against patriarchy. So there are some men that have been victims of patriarchy. For example, trans men have been victims for patriarchy a lot, and also men that are part of the community LGBTQ. So they might be heard for people, and
Yes,
they might be here,
including the movement, yeah.
and they should be included.
Okay, on my opinion, I think they don't have like a specific role like to play, and they should be just more like someone to give support.
I think like they are going to be true involved in that type of feminism. I can totally.
Don't worry, it's fine.
I think at some point men should also be allowed to participate, because what feminism is about, it's equality between the two genders. So feminism doesn't, the true basis of it, it's not hating men, it's not any of that. So I think they should both help each other to get to that, equity they're looking for. So I think we should really need like having someone backing us up, maybe not telling us what to do or something like that, but having that support of men always there,
And
because it's needed. So
and also sometimes they used to play like as victims, and I think that's something that they should like stop, because at the end I think the point is not like attach, that is, or pointing out like men at all, but sometimes they feel like they are the victims, so that's when sometimes the trouble and the controversy starts. But I think like I said before, they don't have to like really get in at all, because it's something for women, and they just, I don't know, they have to give them the support and what they try to help them to express their feelings, their ideas. Obviously sometimes will be maybe things, I don't know, ideas that they won't be agree at all, but at the end the movement is for them, for the people that is in the feminism stuff and that thing. So it's not about men and their opinion, instead of the, I don't know, like the movement.
yeah.
I think they are going to really support it, and it's not like they are going to be and just like see what they do, or I don't know, and they are going to really be part and fight for the same things that women are fighting. So I understand the point that some women don't like men to be involved, because the point of feminism is to like give relevance, like give visibility to women, so some women can be like can feel
Yes, like they are like
they are like
they don't really know what is feminism about, and like they are going to kind of
sabotage or something like
Yeah, I
that.
don't know how to explain it, but the men might be so they might try to be like leaders in that, and women can feel like excluded, and that is not the point at all. But I believe that women might be like the main leaders in this movement, but
Yeah,
men
but
can be
it's
also
okay,
being
yeah.
both. Like,
They can participate in the march and everything and shout out loud, fighting for everything.
And it is indeed like a space for women um, to really use their voice and speak out, you know, on problems they might have gone through and stuff. But I don't think it is only for women. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it I mean, as I said before, it's an equity that it's being looked out in all around the world. So it's not something that you should only focus on. I mean, it is based on women, but it's not something that you should only focus on women, because at the end of the day, it really looks or searches some kind of point in between, you know, justice between the two genders. So I think men should take some part of changing, of doing their own research, or just consciousness about actions they might have done in the past, or something they I don't know, they have experienced. And yeah.
So yeah.
So the point of feminism is like seeking equality, no
Yeah,
matter who
no,
you
yeah.
are, no matter who you are. Okay, great.
Yeah,
That's-
it's not like
Yeah. Do you believe that trans women should be part of the feminist movement? Like, should people support trans women?
In my opinion, they should, because there's some point in their lives that they might as well suffer the same transgression that we do as women. We get catcalled. We get well, um, yeah, stereotypes around society about period, about anything. So I think it is a very extensive spectrum that maybe you can talk about later in another podcast. But I do think that there's a space for everyone in feminism to take part, you know, because I mean, for me, I think it is based on a safe space where trans women and women can talk about their issues, what they go through in the streets, what they go through in their families, or in workspaces. So I do think that.
I think at the end everyone is allowed to participate and be part of this, because at the end the final point is like to express how do you feel and defend, for example, your rights, or be treated more equally to the society. So I think at the end that's the point. So everyone is allowed to participate and, I don't know, express what they want.
So, the portrayal of women in media often limits the progress of feminism rather than empowering it.
not be
I
like,
mean, for example, sometimes there's some people that say like, oh, well, it's her fault because she was wearing this kind of dress, or she was posing this sort of way in a photo or in pictures, like in social media. So I think that's like mostly the point of the prompt.
like some people says that women wants to go naked and
Yeah.
that stuff.
like your mom.
Some stuff
Yeah, like my mom.
Like what
Yeah.
your mom said.
I fought with my mom about this. Yeah, and she says like, no, now feminism is like, yeah, girls want to be like, want to go naked in the street, and that nobody say nothing to them. If men have feelings and they are going to say something to them, and I say like, okay, yes, it's okay that they have feelings about the girl naked or everything, but why they have to shout the nasty things to the girls? I mean, I can see a man like without shirt, and I'm not going to shout things at them because I
You will be
respect,
respectful.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that sometimes, okay, feminism has so many, I don't know how to explain it. Like, feminism has so many,
Like branches or
like, yeah, so many purpose. I
Yeah.
mean, there are many things that feminism
Are fighting for like
encourage to.
okay.
For example, if you want to express yourself, you can go wearing what you want to. But some people just focus on that thing. But feminism have so many other things, so many
Yes.
other good things. For example, we promote I say we because I
Part
feel
of
like
the-
part of the feminism, and I believe that we want to encourage women to feel free and to feel good. Also men, but the main point of the feminism will be
Is for
most of the
women, yeah.
time women. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't even know if 50-50, honestly, because lately I've been seeing like a lot of like maybe verbally or um like verbally views on social media towards women that wear a certain outfit, that they do a certain thing, you know. So I don't think it's creating a community safe enough for women to participate in or to come together in. But there's also a part where, for example, we saw on this Kamala Harris promo that it was a lot of communities that got together. The women of community got together and did certain things, and they showed it on social media. And I think it. I think it brings feminism together, but also destroys some part of it. So I don't think a 50-50. I don't think I don't even know if 50-50 is the right percentage, but I do think there's a part that helps it, and there's a part that completely destroys it and
Yeah,
tears apart.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Feminism they don't
As
use
a-
feminism the right way.
Yeah.
So some people ended up
They
hating
weaponize it,
feminism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. I think the same. There's like a 50-50. Sometimes social media movements and communities try to help, and sometimes other doesn't help at all.
It's a thing about freedom. It's a thing about you can be free of do whatever you want to. For example, men that sometimes are excluded because they are like so feminine
Yeah.
for people. So, and also women that are so masculine for people. We want to like take all
Like-
those things and make it like women is not less women for wearing what she wants to or for
Or
being
for-
the way she wants to be.
Yeah, or for like some sports like football because or play football because in some stereotypes it's like the women who plays football or soccer that things are lesbians or something like that. So
Some stereotypes, yeah.
yeah.
okay. How would you define masculinity and femininity?
It's a thing about how the society made us see the world. For example, pink is for girls, blue is
for
for guys, and all that stuff. It's something about the gender, and that stuff is something about society and about
Yes, the things that society like
uh,
teach us since we were young, so we grow up believing that things even though like
all
they are
the-
not really true or
yeah, all those ideologies comes from the past, since women were assigned to do some stuff and men were assigned to do other stuff,
yes,
and nobody's were like
and also parents
against of that.
also parents help with that because a little girl when it's her birthday or it's Christmas, the parents give her a doll or a little kitchen like you have to do this, and the man they give you a ball or something like that, so you have to do this and you have to do that.
Do you think, like, for example, governments in other countries or our government right now is doing an effort to protect women's rights or to promote feminism?
I mean,
They could do some things, yeah, but I think it should improve.
Do you think that governments right now, or at least our government, is doing a good job supporting feminism?
I wouldn't know how, I mean, I wouldn't know what to tell you because I haven't seen much of plans or
I think that's already an answer.
yeah, the government. Sure, we have institutions that support us enough, but not enough to make a change. To see more women on government, to see more women leading, to see more women on steams, to see more women on action. You know what I mean? I think we've settled to the same old like basis or stereotype that we have that the president is a man, as we've seen it with Kamala and Donald. The only president that we did have that was a woman was Laura, and still to this day, it's been said that her government was terrible because she was a woman, because she didn't know what to do, because her economic plan was bad when it was one of the best that we had, but it wasn't allowed to her to really really put it to plan. So I think it's the system that we've settled for in government, in work, in education, in our household. We see it every day, in little actions, in attitudes. We see it in the street. So I think it is the system that has been that way for many, 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 many years. So yeah.
I think that we had like a lot of advance to be, but women are like got stuck in this thing, and they don't they are not recognized, or they are not
Credited enough.
yeah,
maybe.
or I don't know how to say, but they are stuck in this like in these thoughts that
Yeah.
they already like have the opportunity to get jobs and work and rights and all those things, but we don't evolve more
Yeah,
to the
that's
idea
what I
that
think.
they can have a better role in the society, like
Yeah.
Bianca said, in education, in important parts of the government and all those things. So I think that's my point. Like they, unfortunately, they are like stuck, and we don't see any like
New
advance
changes,
or new changes to put them higher, like in these things.
Yeah. Not higher, just what
Yeah,
I mean?
well,
Like, yeah.
well, higher for them because they don't have the same
Yeah.
opportunities.
I think
They are being
we were
limited.
paving the way, and we did, but we got stuck on it. You know what I mean? Like we got stuck, and we're now searching again and trying again for better things. So
Yeah.
I hope in the future, my sister grows up in another different system, or my daughter, or.
They can do it better.
Yeah, they can do it better.
Yeah.
Like, of course, in here people can go and vote, and a woman can be president, but how many presidents that are women? We have only one
I don't know.
in a lot of years, so it's like
I don't know if this is connected to another question then, but I want to say it now because it's important to see why feminism is necessary in our lives, because we are women and we have rights. We can get an education because of the women that fought in the past, and because of them we can be more free than we were. So if we settle with what we have right now, we won't advance,
yeah,
like
we won't have more
we won't progress.
opportunities or
In the past, women settled with what they have, and other women just wanted to fight about their rights. So I believe that some things that the government had done are just because of the pressure that people put it to them.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have the initiative. They did it because some people asked them to do it. Like, and we're fighting for get it.
Well, governments around the world, some of them support feminism and have, well, in their campaigns they support like social justice, social human rights, for example. Do you believe, for example, Kamala Harris's campaign? Do you believe that if she ever won or if she ever got elected, do you believe that she would have done what she said she would and not use feminism or use these movements as an excuse to just win votes?
I think in this special topic, it doesn't come down to feminism or women. It's just basic human rights. It's just basic reproductive human rights, and we know what's next in the U.S. But I do think that Kamala would have helped because she's a mother. She knows what, and she's seen things all around the world. So I think she would have helped, especially U.S. women. Because right now and in years before, there's been a lot of women that have been dying, thanks to not having like a secure base of reproductive rights. So I do think she would have helped, and I really hope that this 4 years that are coming are not so, I don't know how to explain it, but like so chaotic for them, because as I said before, it's just basic human rights. I don't think in this time it comes to whether you're I don't know, whether you're pregnant or not, whether you want to have kids or not. It's just basic human rights a woman should have. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. Do you think that if Kamala Harris would have gotten elected in the U.S.,
Okay.
do you believe she would have done what she said she was going to do and not use feminism or use social movements as an excuse to win votes?
Okay, well, I don't know a lot about this topic, but I think at the end, her intentions was to help the community also and the people of United States. So I don't think she will use this just to have more votes.
Votes from the youth?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's very sad, but it's a reality that sometimes they don't care at all about some
Yes, they
people.
only
They just care.
Give the appearance that people would love to
Not all
get
of them.
chosen.
I believe not all
Yes,
of them.
not all of them, but most of them.
Most of the
Yeah.
times it is what happens. They want to be very
To
woke,
attract
you know,
people, yeah.
and they are not sometimes. Yeah.
So her party, her political party, is mostly about female rights, abortion, all of those things, all of those movements that have been going on for for this past few years. Do you think that there will be a change and improvement?
Yes, I think so, because like if she has in her plan, yes, sorry, his in her plan, like improve in abortion and female rights and all that, I mean she can make a change, and also like if in the United States she get chosen, you can see that in
The
some
change,
way,
or-
yes, the change, because now it's
Yeah,
like a
because
woman
of the
president.
way
Yeah.
people started thinking, like they changed their minds.
Yes, and
perhaps.
they vote for her to get in the.
Yeah, I will say I don't know. This for me, this is like any politician that might not do what they promised.
What are you trying
But
to say?
if she like if she if she is if she gets all the votes, or well,
Yes,
most of the votes,
most of the votes.
and she becomes the new president, if there is a possibility that she changed her mind and she started doing things like,
In
as we
other
said
way
before,
around,
she
yes.
might be using feminism and this like a card
Yes,
for, hey,
to
choose me because I'm a
choose me
woman.
because-
But
yes.
I don't know, okay, because I'm not very informed about this topic. But I will say it is a possibility. If that happens, that will be very sad. Actually, that will be very disappointing.
Yes, because
But if it doesn't happen, I believe she will do it great. And also for the history, it will be a really great change.
Yes.
And yeah.
Like it happened in Costa Rica, we have like our first
Yeah.
female. I don't know if that went well in the political sense. But
No, me neither. But
I think she did.
She
Yeah,
did okay.
she did okay. Yeah, she did okay. That was not so bad.
she could have been worse.
We hope so.
Western feminism is imposing its values on other cultures, undermining their traditions and autonomy.
Do you believe that modern feminism is being
Like
imposing its values or beliefs onto
on
women?
the culture they
Like
Okay.
replacing the culture.
Something like that, yeah. Like making them believe that
that
is being
their culture is wrong
expressed.
or yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to start or do I start?
Well, I don't know. I think nowadays a lot of not just feminism imposes is a word or
Yeah.
changes a lot of things of cultures because there's a lot of things and stuff around the world, but I think sometimes some cultures could be affected, like in their extreme ideologies or ideas could be affected in order to these movements, and some others not maybe. But at the end, I think there are a lot of movements and ideologies and things, not just feminism, that are changing and replacing things from other cultures. So I think
I think I think the feminist movement doesn't have the right to like oppose its. I mean, not oppose, but like I don't know, like pressure on the values of its movement on other cultures. I think what it should do is protect if women are being, I don't know, held captive or like, I don't know how to explain myself, but like if women were really like targeted on that on that culture, but we need to accept that there's cultures that just have like a different kind of clothes or attitudes. Maybe it's just, I think where feminism gets in is when we start to notice that it's not normal, that it's trespassing women's rights, or that they're in danger or they're soon to be in danger. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
the thing is that sometimes these movements or thoughts most of the time are going against other beliefs, for example, I don't know, Christianity, their thoughts and religions, I don't know. So maybe in that part you can see like they are trying to change because of their thoughts are going against of their religions, of the principles, cultures. So maybe you can see it in that way.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, people have the right to believe what they want to
Yeah,
believe.
Yeah.
exactly.
That doesn't mean they should cross a line of respect.
Yeah.
I think, of course, in any community, there are people that think in one way and people that think in another way. And for example, there are some people in feminism that are really extreme, I will say. They want to impose, just like in another communities, they want to impose. But it is not like, it is just one person. It's not the whole community that wants to impose those ideas. We can try to help a woman if that woman feels like less appreciated. For example, if there's a Muslim woman that feels um, trapped or something like that, a feminist can help her.
Yes.
But you don't. The point is not
Yes, like not to.
to impose your ideas,
Yeah.
to impose yourself. We are helping. We're not.
Yes, like
Yeah, because we
that
will
every.
attack.
Yes, we cannot
We will.
like impose our beliefs over some religion or that things
Exactly.
that
If
people
Muslim.
well that can be like feminism and they can like ask for help for feminism woman, but it's not like that we are going to
Like to force them to believe.
Force.
Yeah.
You have to be against this because okay, you're not gonna impose like your
Of course
ideologies
not.
because you
No,
were born in
because
that religion.
If they want to
Yeah.
wear a hijab just because they want to wear it, they're right. But
They're
if
right,
their
yeah.
religion is forcing them, we
I
will
mean,
try to
they
help
yeah
in a
they
way. Yeah.
Okay, so when you mentioned about Christianity, do you think that maybe the Bible or maybe the church doesn't have like a good representation of what a woman should be?
You start in this one.
I don't know. I think like getting into these topics is really complicated, but
It involves a lot of
yeah,
A
it's
lot.
because
Like,
it
it's a
involves a
very
lot of
extent.
things. But I think that sometimes not just Bible, sometimes this kind of things go like very extreme, and I don't know, maybe it's not like properly, or I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes they exaggerate a lot, like their principles and everything. Or I don't know if maybe is that nowadays we have changed a lot and we see it in that way, because if you ask this to someone older, for example, this
They're gonna
person
tell you
will,
it's all
yeah,
right,
yeah,
you know, that
that
they think
is
that
everything
way.
alright, and now the world is completely a mess and everything is like fucked up with these ideologies. But I think everything has changed a lot, and I don't know, sometimes the Bible, and just not just the Bible, because there exist other religions, they have their thoughts like very
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I also think that the Bible also sometimes justifies some reasons why men do their actions towards women. You know what I mean? So I mean, if you're a Christian or whatever religion you are, it's okay to believe, as you said, in whatever you want, but it's not okay to go over the limit of respect with someone. So if you truly believe in God and Jesus, or in whatever God you believe in, it does not justify your actions towards women or towards anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end, I also think it's something more personal, like your spiritual being and how you feel in that way and how you communicate and with your God, for example. So at the end, everyone is free to believe and follow the religion or the thoughts that they wanted to.
Do you think that the Bible, the Christian Bible, has a good representation of a woman?
Okay, it has, but it has some good representations, I will say.
yes
But sometimes there are some. I don't know. How to
like
say
I remember
versículos.
one like I don't know I don't can tell you like exactly what, but says like women has to get like into the into her husband like
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah, some
says
parts
I
of
don't know how to
the
say it.
Bible that says that men are the head of the family, men are
Yes.
everything in the family. Okay.
And her wife has to follow him.
But
something like that.
In the Bible, there are also many stories
About
women, and some of them are a very good representation about women. I will say,
Yes.
I don't know exactly which examples I will give now, but there are. But sometimes the church, this is different because for me there are three different things: God, church,
Bible.
and Bible. Those things are very different to each other for me. Sometimes they are related, but they're not the same. And sometimes in the church, sometimes the
sometimes it's
people
like
that
people
lead the
get
church
their-
are men, and that's
Yes.
something that happens a lot. And
And also that people get their own ideas about that what Bible said, and
yeah, the
put it into
interpretations.
their interpretations, and put it into how they think it is, but
We don't
that's
have
not really that
any
way.
evidence that it is the way we think it is.
Yes.
And also the Bible, sometimes it's difficult to understand the Bible because it has so many interpretations that we said
Yes.
before. So it depends a lot. And for me, well, yeah, that's the biggest difference. I think actually that sometimes it's difficult to open a religious mind
Yes,
in any sense, because
Yeah.
sometimes they were raised up in a church where they had those ideas.
Yes, and also says like if you dress like that and if you do something like that, God is going to punish you and things
And I
like
believe
that. They always put
sorry.
God like they are if you do something like they think it's wrong, they always put like God to punish you. And
Yeah, like an excuse. I
Yes.
believe if they don't want, for example, if those girls, as we said before, they want to have a family or something like that, they can do it. But
if they don't want to,
if they don't want to, they don't have to. And if someone else don't want to, they don't have the right to tell that person, hey, you have to.
Yes.
Type of thing.
Exactly.
People have free will.
Yeah,
So they
exactly.
can do
Yes. Because it's incredible how people get shocked when a woman say like I don't want to have kids, and
It's
his mother
like
said I want to have
as
a
we
granddaughter.
as we shouldn't impose our ideas, they shouldn't be doing that stuff, you know.
Now, this is a very common question. And there's even like a documentary of some conservative guy that he usually it's been very controversial because you see maybe trans women in sports, and some people are like, no, but they're not women. Oh, but yes, they are. We should support trans women and trans rights. Okay, so the question is,
What is a woman?
Okay.
Okay.
For me, well, um I
I am a
also
woman.
part of LGBTQ, so I will promote all this rights and all this. A woman is someone that identifies as a woman.
As a
it's
woman, yeah.
simply, it's very simple. Oh God.
Well, I think that talking in a biologically way, uh, I think everyone already knows what is a woman and a man.
what about trans people in sports? Because I mean, I think you can see like for example,
Yeah, I
teacher
know.
Vivian talking
Yeah,
about
flashbacks.
the promise and stuff like that on sports.
Yeah.
What do you think about
Trans people in sports.
For example, some people
Yes,
are
yes.
against it because trans
Yes,
women
because
have
of,
advantage of other
yes,
women.
because they are stronger
and
and
that
that things,
stuff.
but
And people usually like related to biology and not just
Yeah.
My
and
personal
human. Yeah.
my personal opinion is that cisgender women can be better than some cisgender men in some stuff. So using this like an excuse to exclude trans people is stupid for me, because they
Yes.
have the right to practice the sport they want to, and we don't have any right to tell them to don't do it.
Don't do it. Yes.
Like they're for example, a trans woman, it's a woman, so we shouldn't exclude that woman to the rest
Just
of the
because
women.
she's supposed to be stronger, she's going to win because of her.
A cisgender woman
physical-
can easily beat that other person if they try enough, and
Yes,
that's
they
how I think.
like a trans woman don't win because of her body. It's because they train and they get prepared for competitions and that things.
In some sports, it's better to be, for example, the cisgender women body sometimes is more skinny or that stuff. That's the way people think. So sometimes in some sports it's better to be small and skinny, and in other sports it's better to be more
like tall and
big.
strong.
And so
yeah.
it doesn't matter actually. If you don't want a woman to have advantage over other women, the thing that you must be doing is like for example in boxeo, that they
like do a specific category for
and
them.
a specific category or
Like, just because
divide
for
the sport in
the
the weight
weight
and the
and the-
height and so that stuff.
If we get in this kind of things, like for example sports, again I repeat, in biological things and characteristics, as proof that men, for example, are stronger because of their body, their hormones, and sometimes if you put, for example, a trans, the women that compete with, no, the men that compete with women, how
The
is
trans woman that
Trans woman.
They compete.
Yeah.
There was a swimmer called the Accounts.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. If you, for example, put to compete this person with women, it will be obviously that this person has advantages. It is called like in this way because his body, well, its body is created in a different way, and I don't know, like nowadays also the technology has a lot of things that maybe can help to reduce their strength, their hormones, their things, but at the end, in a biological way, he's a man, so it's different, and I think he has like the advantages to win or be better, even the best.
Yeah.
And if you see this in a competitive point, it's not fair that also women have like, well, not women, everyone, like being an athlete has its time to prepare, to train, to to do their best. So it's not fair if you have been training the whole year for a competition and now this trans woman person that has this characteristics in a biological way that is different, that has disadvantages, more strength, comes to your competition and just wins like totally easy, for example. So that's my point.
I have mixed feelings and thoughts about this. I'm kind of neutral because I haven't done my research enough, but what I know of, it's like it's okay if they want to compete, they identify as woman, but on the other side, as Mateo said, it is kind of not balanced enough for the hormones or certain advantages that they have. But on the other side, it is unfair for them. They don't get to compete, or they don't feel comfortable competing in like the gender opposite that they identify with. You know what I mean? So I don't have like a clear opinion of it, and I haven't done my research enough to have like a clear base of it. But I do think that we should talk more about this and like get to a point where it is okay on both terms
Do you
to compete.
think that maybe they should create like a
like
space,
their own, okay,
their own like category, yes, for them.
that could be.
But the thing is that maybe they might not feel comfortable at
Yeah,
all,
or
they
like-
might feel discriminated
Yeah.
because if I identify myself as a woman, I want
Why should
to
I
compete.
be
Yeah, why
doing
should I
in
compete
another,
apart
yeah.
competing? Yeah. So that's what I think. It's very complicated, but at the end, if you put out together like like I said before, the advantages that I have being a man, and I'm not saying that, for example, a woman cannot be better than me, because in sports, in competition, is totally crazy. The things that even if it is women or men, the human body can achieve, like, in that way, the level, the strength, the power, everything is crazy. But at the end, if you put together like two athletes, like a woman and a man, and they train the same, they do the same workouts, and I don't know, in their sport, it will be the difference. You will see the difference, because like I said before, in biological way, we are created with that things, with that hormones, with that facilities. I don't know how to say it. So it's not the same, and it's not fair also for women to compete.
Yeah. And regarding the topic about feminism and transgender in sports, like 3 months ago, I think there was a box fight. I don't know if you knew about it. There was a box fight between two women, but one of them looked like a man. Looked kind of manly, and she won. And nobody, I mean, everybody assumed that she was a man. So there was a lot of fights, a lot of things on social media, and I think there's like I mean, to a certain point, it is also some kind of of like um, of a thought pulling us back in. Like if you lost, it was because you're against a man. And she was a woman, and I don't think she was giving the right celebration, or maybe the right I mean, happiness that you won just because you looked like a man. And it was right after the swimmer thing. So I think, yeah, I think that's why it happened, and I think it was kind of unfair for both of them. Yep.
Yes, about physical.
Do you think that, there's many people that say that cisgender men and cisgender women have physical differences. For example, they say that cisgender men can carry heavier stuff, and cisgender women can't. Do you agree with this?
It depends on the person.
Yes.
On the people you're comparing. Sometimes it's not that thing about
It's not that about gender. It's
about gender. It's not
Yes.
about the gender. It's about the
about
body, because
Yes,
there
the
are
body and the
big
possibilities
women,
they
big
have.
men, small women, small men. So it's
Yes.
very specific. Yeah.
Feminism has become more about hating men than achieving gender equality.
No, I don't think so.
No, but I understand why some people say it.
I think, well, I said it before. I think I would have used this idea, but as I said it before, and I will say it how many times it's needed, the base of feminism, it's not hating men, it's not eliminating men on the face of earth. It's just that we want the same equity and rights, about whether it be reproductive rights, liberal rights. For example, in Afghanistan, they are not allowed to even talk nowadays. So that's what feminism is searching. There's the extreme side, that is, the ones that go to protest, and it's not a peaceful protest. I think it's called like a white protest. I don't really know, but I think that's the extreme. I don't. It's not that I'm justifying it, but a lot of those women have rage inside them because they want change and they haven't seen it, and they think there's no other way of doing it. So I'm not justifying it, but I do understand why they do it. Maybe they have gone through some aggressions or abused before in their lives. So I do not think it's about hating men, but I have to accept that there is extreme that does.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the same, but I don't know. At the end, I think it's the man, the one that also, like, by their own start feeling attached, because sometimes the movement is not looking for that kind of things like hate men and try to, you know, to point out men at all, or specifically hate men. And sometimes a lot of men start feeling this way, so they change their behavior, for example, and like, I don't know how to say it, but they do like treat the same with this hate to women. So it's like they repeat, like,
they feel hated, so they
uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah. And at the end, I think at least the only thing we should do is try to understand the movement and try to support them.
The famous people or the women that
For
use
some bad
feminism,
representations.
yes, for bad representations. So people are going to believe that feminism is to hate men and to disappear men, but
And also,
that's not really what the movement
the movement is
the
about.
movement is about. Yes, I get really I was mumbling in that word.
A thing that I really believe in is that some men, for example, well, some people in general are
Yes.
not used to hearing women talking. As a woman, I have seen this multiple times, even at high school or at home, at everywhere, that people pay more attention to men most
Yes,
of the
than a
time.
woman.
So when a woman is talking about herself or about other women, sometimes people see them as crazy. For example, if
And
you cannot make some jokes that men make,
yes,
because
like
people will look at you like a
it's
weirdo.
like when you go home and you say something like "my" or something like that, and your mom is like, "In you, that hears horrible." And then he hears a man and he says yes because he can say it because he's a man or something like that. And that belief that feminism is about hating men can be because of the sexist ideas that society has like put on people's minds. So yes, like
Yeah.
women cannot.
I think, for example, if in feminism we are seen as crazy women. Some people see feminists as crazy women because they are so loud, because they do some stuff, because they are not sometimes like the stereotype of a woman.
Of a woman, yes.
And for example, if a man starts a movement about something in general,
Whatever.
people won't see him as
A crazy
or as a terrible man most of the time. And
it depends on the movement.
yeah, it depends on the point of view.
Yeah.
But feminism is just about equality, and some people started seeing as, oh, women want to be like the center of attention.
Yes, and that's kind of because of the marks that sometimes are like too noisy and something like that. But then you have to ask people like, if feminists weren't so noisy, do you think that people should pay attention to them?
Yeah.
Do you think
sometimes-
that they are really going to
Yeah,
take in
sometimes
account with-
people don't
yeah.
like trouble, so people try to avoid it.
Yes.
And for
And
them,
sometimes they see
marches
feminism as
and
trouble.
feminists are trouble for them because they are like
to
looking for and fighting for their rights. They don't like fight at all.
fight all.
Yeah.
There's some people that have become sort of scared, mostly because of cancel culture, of maybe expressing their opinions when they are against feminism or the LGBTQ community. What would you say to those people?
They're afraid of.
It's mostly
There
because
are-
they want
yeah, I
like,
know.
to have like a compromising. Like they don't want to
They
put themselves
they don't
in a
want to get
compromising
cancelled
position.
and get into
Like,
a fight. As I
yes.
said before, some people don't like fight at all. So
Yes, they don't want to
No.
get in kind of troubles.
But I believe there are two reasons why some people don't like to get into those topics. The first reason will be they don't want to get into a fight and they don't want people to get mad at them.
At them, yes.
And
They want to be friends
the other
overall.
reason that sometimes happens is that they don't want to change their minds. They're
Yes.
scared to hear some things that will make them doubt about themselves. So I believe in any of those cases, sometimes it's difficult to talk up to someone because that person won't hear you. If that is the case, you don't want to talk about feminism, you should choose the correct person to do it. Because if you're with the right person, that person will hear you and won't be so close in their minds. And
Yes.
that person will share your ideas. For example, I feel like a very open person to these conversations because I have done multiple times with my family. Sometimes they don't agree with me, but I'm able to hear them, and I'm aware that we have different points of view.
Maybe they are not afraid of feminism or LGBT, movements. Maybe they are afraid to the change, to change their minds and to accept the change that society
Yeah, sometimes we are so into our
into little
opinions.
world,
We have so
yeah.
many strong opinions that we know
so into our
inside
little
of us
perfect
that
world that we
are
don't
not
want to change
correct at all.
anything.
The real barriers to workplace equality come from women's choices, not systemic issues.
I don't think like women are wrong because it's completely obvious that they have going through a lot of things during the last decades, and they have like passed a lot of chaotic things, abuse, and they have been limited with their rights and all those things. So I don't think they are wrong. I think it's more about the system, and yeah, it's about the system.
I think it is about the system. Because I mean, there's a part of commercial, I don't know, kind of thoughts nowadays that they prefer to hire a man than a woman that can get pregnant, and then they have to wait 9 months, and then they have to wait when she delivers the baby, and she won't be working, and that kind of lost time that a woman has in a working life, let's say, or certain things throughout her pregnancy or whatever. So a lot of people decide to hire men or to hire women for short periods of time. And for those periods of time, they might be working a lot, but they're paid less. They're paid for less hours than they're working, or they never get ascended to a job. they might have been years in one, how do you say that, in one, like in one specific job, and they never get ascended, they never get a better option, they never they never get a better opportunity, because why would you give a woman that opportunity when you can give it to a man? I think there's still that thought, and still we fight for it, and still we try to eliminate it and completely erase it, because there's no reason for you to think that if I can do the same work in that kind of in that range of working life, you know what I mean? So I think it is the system. I think it is the people who work the system, and that we've gotten that we've gotten comfortable with it. Maybe not comfortable enough, but like we've been we've settled for what we've got, and just now, well, years, but like just in this decades we've been fighting for it, because I don't think my grandma would have stood up and asked for a better job or to be paid what she deserved, you know. And I think that's that's what I think.
I believe that sometimes it can happen that sometimes some women don't want to choose a career because it's not something about their interest.
Yes, but that also happened to men stuff.
It also happened to me, yeah. But the point of feminism is to promote equality for everyone, every
Yes.
single person. So
I
if
mean,
there
if
is
they
just
choose
for
not to get a career, is
okay, but what I wanted to say is like, if there is one woman that wants to work at, that wants to study one career, she must
She
be
would,
available to do it. She must be able to do it. Nobody can tell her like, don't deny it. See, deny deny to her. Nobody should have that right to deny it. It doesn't matter how many people wants to study a career or wants to work at some job. If it is just one person, we must hear them. It's about why feminism is important nowadays, because we know it was important in the past, because for the women that fought for us, we have the right to get an education and get some jobs. But nowadays it is important also because even though in the law we have some rights, in the way we live, some people judge us and see us as an object.
Well known that women are stuck, and the society is not bringing new changes for them and for give them the equality and like make it worth it, the values that the rights, sorry, that they like everyone as human part of the society must have. But I think we still have a lot of changing and a lot of things to like be aware or try to understand or comprehend for women.
Also, even though we have a lot of opportunities, they are not equal.
And because
So-
we have, for example, the simple fact that we don't have all the right to go out at night. We don't have all the freedom to go
Yes.
out at night without thinking someone is going to rape me.
Yes.
That's
Like some, I remember some time that a teacher asked us, Louine asked us, like, when you ask the men actually, when you go outside alone, are you afraid of something? And they say like,
Most of the
No.
time they're not.
Yes, someone said like, no, only if I see a man that looks weird, it's like he's going to stole me something or something like that. But we see something and we are like always looking.
We
like,
hope
not-
someone is going to steal
Yes.
us because we are afraid someone will kidnap us or with
Yes, like
rape
if
us.
you see a weird car or a weird man, it's like go to the other side, go into a store,
we have,
something like that.
Sometimes it
we
is
have
very
to be
sad.
so prepared.
It is very sad that sometimes we are even thinking. Sometimes it happens to me. I'm thinking what I'm going to wear tomorrow, and I say like, okay, I shouldn't be wearing this kind of skirt
Yes,
because
I'm going to
someone
that
is going
place
to
and someone is going
look
to see me
bad.
in a bad way.
Yeah, and also I shouldn't be wearing these shoes because if someone is trying to to kidnap me or something like that, I wouldn't be able to run. Imagine that. Have you ever
Yes, and
thought
it's-
about it? Some guys haven't.
And it's
And-
also sad that like fathers don't want to let their daughters go to a party or something like that because parents think that they are going to be raped or kidnapped because men put something in her drink or and it's like sad that they think that, but
And the saddest part
is
is
that
is
if
that
they
it is
had a boy-
possible.
yeah, and it's possible. And the if they had a boy, they let him because
Yeah, of course.
they don't think they have the same.
My parents raised me up in a way I'm afraid of going out so much because they always were
too.
very protective with me. And if I'm walking, if I see a man, it doesn't matter which kind of man, I get
would run,
like
yes.
I get a little bit scared, and it is because the way they raised me, because all the things that they saw happening around the city or
that's
around
the-
the country, around the world.
That's the most sad part about that because parents had to raise their daughters to be prepared for not get
everything.
For danger.
Yeah.
I think we still have a lot of changing.
A lot of work to do,
Yeah.
a lot of things to go through, and a lot of experience to have to maybe become the change. You know, I think we made clear that maybe the movement is not about hating.
Yeah,
It's more about
equality, support.
supporting, comforting, and helping, paving the way for women, searching inequity, and
Even in these changes is stop like the hate and looking in that way that the intentions of feminism is just hate men and even stop that because it will be better and will support the movement.
yeah,
So I don't know, I think that's it.
yeah.